If you believe you are a spiritual being or have a soul, then you can develop your psychic abilities, your spiritual vision, and your spiritual healing abilities. Hi, I'm Reverend Tom Kearns. I'm a spiritualist minister, a psychic medium, and astrologer. Many years ago, I was a spiritual seeker, perhaps like you are now. And there is an old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And that is exactly what happened in my life. I was privileged to meet the Rev Harry Bender. He was such a special man that I wrote a book, The Art of the Mystic, about his spiritual and psychic development course. In fact, Harry was such a special being that the only character that we felt captured the essence of his abilities was the Master Jedi, Yoda. We felt his teachings were the same on a spiritual level. His wife, Ruth, was a very talented healer, an astrologer, a teacher, and a trance medium. She would bring through a woman by the name of Bertie, who had been a slave, and she also produced amazing apports. When you're dealing with the psychic and the spiritual, just like in dreams, you often must deal with symbolic knowledge. And so we used this poster, designed by artist Frank Herrick, to explain some of the introductions into each chapter of the book. The sunflower is the symbol of spiritualism because it always faces the sun. And this first chapter describes the story of Genesis from the Bible and how it proves that you are a spiritual being and you have spiritual powers. The cross goes beyond the symbol of Christianity. It also represents that each of us are spiritual beings and we are housed in a material body. Harry takes this a little bit further and shows how you have all the creativity we'll ever need. We use the apple as a symbol because of its feeling of wholesomeness and beauty and goodness. And that is what the psychic and the spiritual are all about. We need not fear the gifts of God that were given to us freely. The next chapter uses the winged crown, the crown representing achievement, the wings representing spirituality. In this chapter, there are distinct lessons on how to develop and use your spiritual powers and some of your healing abilities. The next yin-yang symbol represents the balance inherent in all nature and in the laws of nature. And this chapter describes the law of love, the law of karma, and how you can understand them and learn and grow and use them. The next chapter uses the mandala as a symbol, and this chapter speaks of physical phenomena. It in itself is universal. It has been experienced throughout the world, and there are some very exciting and interesting stories that Harry tells. The next chapter has the clover as a symbol, manifesting the threefold nature of man, and it talks about the ability to sense things not only with the body, but also with the mind, and that'll help you make decisions. This class is represented by the shaft of wheat, which represents that an idea needs to be planted and nurtured or worked on, and then it can be harvested for its reward. The subject of the chapter is the pendulum, and how that can be used to help us make important decisions and find things. The symbol used here is the Buddha. He represents both intellectual and spiritual enlightenment, which we all can achieve. This chapter looks at the psychic centers, their energies, their colors, and how they can be used by anyone. The final symbol is the Om, or Om. It is an ancient Sanskrit word, and it tells us that we have incredibly beautiful powers within us that can be focused into a magic ball of satisfaction, and how you can do that. Once again now we turn back to the complete poster with all the symbols put back together as one. In a sense, this represents that each of us has our own potential, both on a spiritual and a material level, and we can learn how to develop those to our highest potential, increasing the depth of joy and spirituality in our lives. So if you have felt that there is something much deeper within yourself that you would like to develop, your psychic and spiritual powers and your healing abilities, then I truly believe that a copy of The Art of the Mystic will greatly help you. You can order it through your local bookseller through New Leaf Distributing, or you'll find it on my website at professorastrology.com. That's professorastrology.com. Many blessings to you on your journey.